Reserve time.
Cloud9 did draft it that day, Terrorblade, and they had this really huge comeback or something. So I'm not really that sure, but Terrorblade is definitely a strong one. I'm surprised it got through the ban phase.
Dyer's pick. Radiant's pick. Ten seconds to go. 5 seconds. Reserve time. 10 seconds to go.
I think on paper it looks
Dyer's
very
ban.
mild, okay, the double chakram, but I've seen it in action before and it really has a lot of power when it comes to zone control. The double chakrams are able to dish out huge amounts of pure damage on a really short cooldown, and it allows Timbersaw to deny a lot of space. The main problem with this, with the Timbersaw is, of course, against Terrorblade, it's great against him because of the pure damage it gets through the armor, but the main problem is, of course, the Terrorblade is an agility hero, so I don't think it will do as much damage from his Whirling Death. But Timbersaw is always good against pushing, so the Chakram on its own without Aghanim Scepter will be strong. But I was thinking that Speed Gaming could have gone for something like a Lion, you know, counter up those illusions with Mana Drain and Hex. Right, I'm gonna have to ask you to hold on. They're saying they can't hear you in Dota TV. Do you turn on your open mic? Do you drop the mic threshold all the way to the left as well?
10 seconds to go.
Not sure what's up with that. That's maybe people trolling. I mean, you. Yep. Okay, but you can still hear me. Oh, that's not good. Yes.
I'd get ready if I were you.
Yeah, I think he's great against any kind of illusion-based hero, but his stat game's pretty awful, and if he gets caught out of place, he just gets absolutely melted down. And obviously Terrorblade, one of those heroes who can dish out a seriously high amount of damage at the earlier points of the game. And Ember Spirit, one of those heroes who really needs those items to come online, especially when you're picking him to counter the illusion-based push. So it's going to kind of be, in my eyes, what LGD can make happen in the early game, and if they can make sure that this Ember becomes a non-issue. Oh, wow. No, it's totally smooth for me.
30 seconds to battle.
Give me the all reconnect room. Okay, do you want me to do Dota radio whilst you're doing that? Yeah. It's looking good for LGD. I mean, you know, they're going into the match at the moment. At the time of going to press, it was 80% favouring the side of LGD. They've just
Well,
got them kind of
hope
the
you like
more
bloodbaths.
worked on and robust lineup in comparison to Speed. Speed, they haven't really done anything with this new lineup recently, the Chinese side, and they're yet to kind of prove themselves. LGD, they've been through a few big tournaments, you know, WCA, WEC, and of course the international LGD CDEC. In all of them, they haven't done amazing. They've never managed to finish off in a position higher than, I believe, fifth, I believe it was in the international they came, where they managed to get themselves on about 20 grand. But it's still kind of their time to shine. They need a game that's going to prove to us that they're, you know, still something amazing with that name. Obviously, LGD being one of those huge, the main Chinese team being a real kind of stander internationally. But this kind of side team, they need to prove themselves still. And at the moment, we're going to see a smoke gang onto the mid lane. Sand King and Skyroth, they've found the Invoker. There's a Brewmaster as well. And they've caught him out this time. And Invoker, he's getting very, very low. The right clicks come through. But he's just too tanky. Brew might pay for his life. They do get the first blood. Brewmaster's just going to be able to escape, or is he? No, I think he's going to go down as well. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, the tri-lane of Terrorblade, Leshrak and Rubik do find the kill on the off-lane Timbersaw. So it's 2-1 with SPG picking up the first blood. But they take it in against 2 kills going against them. So not the best start for SPG. We did. It was a good first blood. It was a bit messy because they did kind of dive all the way past the tier 1 and Brew paid with his own life. And meanwhile, yeah, as I said, Timbersaw also... Oh, and Timbersaw's gone down again. Timbersaw, what are you doing, son? The Tri-Lade of Terrorblade, Leshrak, Rubik just proving too strong. And... even for a Timbersaw, and he's having an awful time down here. Terrorblade's finding the farm.
Dyer's
In terms of
bottom
last hits, he's top of the
tower
board
is
at the
being
moment.
attacked.
He's having a great time.
Dyer's
Invoker
structures
also,
have
even
been
though they took him
fortified.
down as first blood, he's dominating mid against this Brewmaster. And Centaur
bottom
on
tower
his
is
off-lane
under
role, he's
attack.
doing fine. And he's not finding,
don't
you know,
even
there's not a
care,
lot of
do you?
pressure coming out from the Sand King and the Sky. Obviously, they did look for that level 1 gank mid, but other than that, it's a pretty good start for LGD.
I don't know what's happening. It's still lagging. I think it might have been something to do with the C servers being damaged or something, because this is, yeah, I can't see anything. It's just all slideshow from here, and there's nothing dropping on my end. I hear you fine. My frames are
Yeah.
okay. It's just
And
Dota.
I saw
in-game.
your internet. Your internet's like a gazillion upload and a gazillion download, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that C servers recently have gotten into a little bit of a bump here. From Valve has yet to fix it. A lot of people have been disconnecting from
Yeah.
time to time, and I don't know how to proceed with this actually, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, only thing I can think, I don't know if it's allowed. Obviously, I can stream from mine if you want me to go on. I don't know if that's allowed because it's totally smooth this end.
I don't know. Let me try watch from Dota TV. We'll see if that works.
Okay. And meanwhile, Invoker finds himself a kill mid. It's 4-1. This Brewmaster's having an awful day today. And Invoker very low. In fact, Scarf, oh, he nearly gets the kill, but he's got 10 HP left. The Invoker, he's going to live. Scarf tries to clean up after LGD commit for that kill on the Brewmaster, but he's unable to find anything. This is going to give Timbersaw a little bit of space now, because Terrorblade's on his own on this bottom lane. And Timbersaw's going to find a little bit, but Terrorblade, he was off to a brilliant start, and it's going to be hard to shut down that hero when the game is going at this pace. Ember Spirit on the solo safe lane position at the moment for SPG. He's finding it, he's caught up in farm compared to the Terrorblade. He's now sitting at the top of the last hits, but he needs to be careful because the two heroes, well, Leshrak, he's got his eyes on the top lane, so's Rubik, as the supports are going to rotate up by the looks of it to help Centaur. Skyroth's off the
it's
map.
working.
Oh, you fixed it?
I think so. I think.
Oh my, you did it, Lysander.
I think I did.
Base
Not-
Lysander.
I'm not sure I did, but I think I
Okay.
did. But okay. Hopefully that stops the nonsense for now. But yeah. Right, we haven't run through the teams. Have we actually run through the teams yet?
Well, no, we haven't actually. There's so much action going on in the first 4 minutes, we haven't had the chance. So, I mean, do you want to go ahead and introduce LGD?
Alright, so on the Raiden side, we have LGD. We have LGD CDEC, not the main LGD squad. We have Q on the Leshrak. We have Garda on the Rubik. Middle lane played by Maybe, the captain. Invoker 333. It's going to be on Sensor Warrunner. And of course, last but not least, we have Shangtou. That's the Chinese word there. Going to be playing Terrorblade, which Shangtou, I don't know what it means, upper head. But alright, on the side of Speed Gaming, you want to introduce them. They killed middle Brewmaster. But yeah,
Brew.
the frames, or rather the Dota TV has stopped lagging for me, so I can actually cast properly now.
Oh,
And-
Centaur, top lane, he's in trouble. They catch him out, the tri-lane, get the kill, and Ember Spirit picks that one up. So they're finding something
Dyer's
back
middle tower is
at
being
the side of
attacked.
LGD. But yeah, sure, I'll go ahead and introduce Speed Gaming. So if you haven't seen them dying already, I'll let you know what's going on. So Timbersaw down this bottom lane, he's going to be played by
Dyer's
7 Magic.
bottom tower
Mid lane
is
Brew
under
is going to be played
siege.
by Lysander. Can you do the translation?
I'm not gonna try, but we're just gonna call him Brewmaster for this game.
We'll call him Brewmaster.
Yeah.
Nice and original, nice and original.
Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that the translations don't always go very well. Skyruff on the bottom lane is going to actually scout out Rubik here. There's going to be a lift on that Timbersaw. The Terrorblade has popped this Metamorphosis, the Reflection as well. Only at level 1, will there be one more right click assault, keeps him alive for just a moment. And he'll actually take a tumble there. Along with the tier 1 tower, which was happily cleaned up by Cardi, the Catapult. So it brings the score to 6-2. So far your homework on LGD seems to be pretty correct. They're taking the kill score 6-2. Centaur pauses the game, so we can try and catch our breath for now.
Yeah, Well, so are you fine with the stream now? Are you? You're not getting slideshow Dota anymore?
No, I'm not.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Because it's gonna be annoying.
It would be, yeah.
Right, so anyway, the Speed Gaming lineup, we haven't really talked too much about them. They have a Sand King and Skyruff dual lane combo, which gives them a little bit of magical bursts coming their way, which arguably would be strong against a Terrorblade, but
Yeah, it's not a bad lineup to deal with the Terrorblade. Yeah, you're right, this stage, but they've obviously managed to find the one kill on the offlane of LGD, finding the Centaur War in a slightly out of position just the once. But other than that, Skyruff's been pretty mobile around the map. He's been trying to find these rotations. He has helped out, and he's also kind of not helped out in the mid lane where we've seen him appear. But he's always kind of appeared after Brewmaster's already died, so it's kind of been time wasted for the support of SPG. So I don't know, they just don't seem to be doing too much, but obviously Sand King being Sand King, he is able to kind of AFK jungle and find his way up to the Blink Dagger. But when the other side's leading 6-2, I don't know if they're going to get that space to do that, because the pressure's going to be popped on by LGD. We already see Terrorblade, getting all these involved in all these kills. He's been involved in 3 kills so far in this safe lane. He's managed to take down the tier 1. And yeah, Metamorphosis, it's such a strong skill. I think this hero's pretty nasty.
yeah, it is. And Invoker, he has gone for the Quas Wex build, which is showing us that he wants to go for more of the crowd control team fights and prevent Speed Gaming from executing that team fight combo I talked about. Their Sand King, the Panda, Speed, and the Skyruff. They're all very strong for the early skirmishes and mid-game skirmishes with the Blink Epicenter. And the Invoker is just there to counter it up. EMP once, Panda won mana for the split. And even Ember Spirit and Timbersaw will find themselves mana starved if he does land a very good EMP there. And I really prefer this over the X-Sword Quas Invoker, which is the pushy Invoker, which Terrorblade makes pointless. So I like this build so far from LGD, but what do you think the game plan is for both teams? Just do a little bit of analysis here.
Well, I think, as you're saying, obviously, the Invoker going for the crowd control build, and the fact that they have got a hero such as Terrorblade, who's arguably one of the earlier game pushers that can be picked for a team. I think they are going to be looking to put the aggression on nice and early, and they've been doing that so far. They've been picking up these kills. The ganks from SPG haven't been successful for the most of it, and it's really kind of playing to the favour of LGD. And with the lineup the SPG have, I kind of feel that they've kind of picked to counter what LGD are trying to go for, but it's just not working at the moment, and I just think LGD are going to get stronger and stronger, and I can't see Speed Gaming putting a stop to it at this point.
Yeah, which is why I said that they should have leaned something towards a Lion or something, because the Mana Drain and the Hexes, the Mana Drain especially, at rank 4 it does destroy illusions so quickly with a 5-second cooldown. It's really strong against Terrorblade compared to Ember Spirit, which aims to destroy these illusions with Battle Fury Cleaves, which is not always effective, especially if Ember Spirit falls behind, doesn't get a Battle Fury up in time, or doesn't get his damage up in time, and then the Terrorblade gets too big for him, which he is right now. He's pretty much getting free farm. He's got 36 last hits to the 10, a tier 1 tower under his belt already, and no one's really ganking him or trying to, so he can get really scary.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's going to get scary a hell of a lot quicker than the Ember Spirit is, as you were saying. Ember Spirit needs his Battle Fury really to be able to deal with heroes such as the Terrorblade. And yeah, I think you're right. A Lion would have been really nice. You know, a Terrorblade's only going to be able to conjure up an image every 16 seconds, whereas Lion's going to be destroying them every 5. So he'd be able to pretty much totally stop the push from Terrorblade with a bit of help from the rest of the team.
Yeah, so the good thing about the early ganks from LGD is Rubik got 2 kills, and that really secured him an early arcanes, which is why you see Q here on left strike, deciding to just alternate for the Tranquil Boots for more survivability, roaming, as well as the heals. The heal is always very good for roaming supports because you can just heal up in between lanes and just reach fight ready HP before you enter your next battle. So this early game ganks have done a lot to benefit LGD and just make the space with Terrorblade. I think that's their game plan. Make space with Terrorblade and let him do the tower pushing.
Yeah, I think that's right. And talking about making space with Terrorblade, he's obviously, as we can see, heading into the jungle, just trying to continue the amount of farm he's got. I mean, what do you think the Terrorblade goes for? Do you think with the kind of pushing line that they go for, he's going to go straight for the Manta style after the treads now?
From what I've seen Miracle do, he's one of the guys I know loves all his illusion heroes, Naga, whatnot. But yeah, Miracle likes to go for drums, Manta style, and Skadi or BKB, depending on the situation. So we might see him opt towards a drum now. It's very possible the drum gives him good stats, allows him to buff his illusions in a tower push, and just really help you tear down those towers. And after that, of course, Manta is usually the way they go. So it's really up to him. I've seen some Sanjay Rajas as well. There you go, EMP Tornado, burn, half his mana gone, and if he weren't for the Arcane Boots, he would be totally useless in the coming fight.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well. I think, well, obviously Timbersaw picked the Arcane Boots. I'm slightly surprised that Ember didn't go for the Arcanes. Obviously, they are relying on him to dish out a lot of damage, but, you know, if he gets caught out by an EMP, him, Brewmaster, Timbersaw, all their escape mechanisms are just cut out of the team fight. And if they're caught in a bad place, I don't know what SPG are going to do to kind of survive.
Yeah, I actually like that analysis. The Arcane Boots are kind of lacking on speed gaming. I guess he's expecting Skyrock to get some, which is why he's sitting middle right now to try and get some Arcanes of his own. But yeah, Brewmaster doesn't have any. He's rushing a Blink Dagger right away, so he has to be very, very careful with his mana. And once again here, the EMP going off, and this time it's Skyrock, so he's just going to blow up right away. And maybe he scores himself a kill, bring the kill score to 7-2. So yeah, Ember Spirit, like I said, he does need the damage though, so I guess that's why he goes for the phase boots. But I don't think Ember is gonna fit in this case. It's gonna be a very I don't know. It's like picking counters that need farm. Like you pick a hero. It's like picking a hero for its Aghanim Scepter upgrade. I think that's the best analysis I can give. It works if you can get it, but it's way too much effort and too much time to actually get it done. And now the Panda's gonna be in a lot of troubles. There's gonna be a kill. The Tornado's about to fly. There's gonna be a spin. No, the stick charges will keep him alive. The Panda falls to the ground, but does not die there. So maybe miscalculating a little bit of hubris on his side. But he will miss on that kill. So LGD are gonna rotate 2 of their boys over. But nope. Here comes the doo-doo-doo from the Skyrock, catches the Invoker, but once again, Global Centaur ult, pretty good stuff.
Yeah, that was an absolute bang-on stampede. I mean, with this Sand King coming in and then this Mystic Flare raining down on the Invoker, it looked like the end of the line of him. But yeah, you can't forget that Centaur Warren pick. Then the Centaur Warren has been doing alright for himself. He's not found the blink quite so yet, but he's about 2/3 of the way there. So he'll have it sooner rather than later. And then with that initiation from the Centaur, I think LGD are pretty much good to go. You know, they're ready to take the fights at the towers, and they can go straight for the push.
Yeah, Sand King has picked up his Blink Dagger though, and they're keeping tabs on Terrorblade. They've got 2 Observer Wards, just being absolute spies on this guy here. They're gonna look for him. He's got 600 health, about 700. He does have Sunder at the ready, but he will need another guy. Melody Lovers is gonna need someone else to bring him down. The thing about the Epicenter that is not gonna be as effective against the Terrorblade is, of course, the Epicenter does damage in intervals, so it does give him a little bit of time to get off that Sunder instead of an instant burst with something like a Finger of Death or Laguna Blade. So there's something to look out for as well. They don't really have huge burst damage except from Timbersaw, and when I mean burst in this situation, I mean instant damage, because that a fraction of a second is all Terrorblade needs to swap life with you. So we'll see how that works out for them. Terrorblade picking up the drums, like I said. Yay, B.
Yeah, and yeah, you're bang on with that. And I think you're right, in the sense that they do need to somehow find the burst damage for this Terrorblade. And for that to happen, I think they just need to make sure this Scarif Mage is always there, getting the Ancient Seal down onto the TP. And as we see Sky maxing out the Ancient Seal, going for that max duration, because they're going to need that duration just to keep him silenced up and to burst him down. Obviously, it's going to be great, but once he gets his Manta and he's able to remove the silence, then I don't know what they're going to do to deal with the Terrorblade.
Oh, flashback misses on his stun there. Might pave his life. Yeah, the Max Silence is an interesting build. It used to be done for when Support Skyrim was first run, I think, by... I'm not sure who it was run by. Alliance, I think, one of the first few times Support Skyrim was run a long time ago. He used to go for more silence rather than the nuke, but after a while players realized that the nuke, the shorter cooldown, the more damage was more worth it. But in this situation, I guess they can make an exception, and the Terrorblade is a good enough exception in this case. So yeah, so far not much engagements going on. It's just 7 and 2, but Speed Gaming are falling behind with the XP dropping about 1,000 in... No, wait. Gold dropping 1,000 in the Radiant favor, and the XP actually favoring themselves. So they've managed to get more levels in there, guys. But we'll see how they make use of it, because LGD with the Invoker, they have a good amount of... They will have a good amount of counter push and counter ganking. Like you see here, Timbersaw going to get jumped here. He's going to zip away, but a good stun from Q. And he takes out the Timbersaw. Sand King did peace out right away after that kill. So it's going to be a 1-for-1 Rubik for Timbersaw. It's going to favor LGD for sure. But
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, cutting down the Timbersaw. Timbersaw went really deep for that kill on the Rubik, and I think, yeah, he just misjudged his positioning, and yeah, Invoker and Leshrac quite easily picked that one up. And yeah, taking it to 8-3. Now we talk about the great start that LGD had, and yeah, had kind of staled out all what's going on in the dire jungle. Terrorblade.
oh, when he gets trapped, and he dies actually. So he wastes his Metamorphosis. He just used it for the Skyrim kill, but he got chained in place, and with the Skyrim ultimate doing a huge amount of burst, 600. It does take him out, so I would say that's a huge favor for SPG, because every time Metamorphosis comes on, you want to get a tower with that. It's something like Exorcism. You just want to use it the minute it comes off cooldown, take a tower. Getting kills is extra, but you want to get the towers with them. So
yeah,
delayed it by 150 seconds.
Indeed, and with the Terrorblade down and out, and the fact that that extra bit of bonus gold went the way of Ember Spirit, who just completed the phase boots and the drums, and he's getting closer and closer to that Battle Fury. I believe there's one of the swords coming out now. No, it's just the Void Stone he's got coming out the way. So he's about 1,000 gold off finishing that Battle Fury, and that's not going to be too bad a timing, especially seeing as he went for phase and drums first. So I think Ember, he's still in a position where he's able to contest, but hang on, here we go, Orchid onto the Ember, Sue Stomp's going to come in, they got the double edge there, they don't even need it, he goes down, but at the same time they lose the Invoker. Now SPG, they're trying to find more kills here, they've managed to send up to the centre, but he gets the blink off. Oh wow, but it's a 1-for-1 trade, and I think they did need to kill the Ember, but losing the Invoker, was it worth it?
In this case, I would say Ember is their #1, so losing that, he's their counter to Terrorblade. Invoker is kind of like the space maker in this one, so even if he dies, space creates it, but Ember Spirit, he's gonna need all that space, man. So I don't think losing Ember Spirit in this case was good, especially since he was so close to his Claymore. So now his Battle Fury component is gonna be slowed down a little bit more. We hear the rah-rah from the Centaur, just dodging a gank there. I don't know how to pronounce this guy. Timbersaw Yui is going to run away from CDEC from G3, but he gets the turnaround. And the Centaur juking on that boost stomp there. I thought he would have gone for a double edge right away. It would have been enough to kill. But Yui, yeah, he's going to secure that kill for himself instead. So Centaur outplaying himself. And CDEC Q going to drop the dust, and Melody in trouble. Silenced up, chopped by a Terrorblade illusion. Will go down to the Terrorblade actually. So 11 and 6, Sand King for a Centaur.
Indeed, and yeah, SPG finding kills, but it keeps being kind of even trades. So LGD not taking it too close to heart, and finally Ember Spirit is able to pick up the Claymore, and yeah, he's only 900 gold away from picking up the Broadsword. And I mean, yeah, as soon as that Battle Fury comes online, do you think he'll be looking to directly try and fight the Terrorblade head on head with his team, or do you think they'll want him to kind of AFK farm and get the crit up before he does anything too spectacular?
You're talking about Ember Spirit?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think they will need to fight with the Ember Spirit. I'm not sure they can do it 4v5, but he might just need to just duel with the Terrorblade. Terrorblade for now, he's just gonna sit in the jungle, finish up the Manta before he does anything funny. With the Manta style, the Metamorphosis is just gonna destroy everything. So he's just, I think the goal of Terrorblade would be one Death Ball of his team, which is okay, but you risk the sanking initiation, Timbersaw, Brewmaster, and all that stuff. So it's better off he sits in the jungle in like this general area in the enemy jungle, and just farm their jungle up while waiting for the team to push or mix base somewhere else in the jungle. And now top lane Ember Spirit gets blown up once again, which is why I was saying this Ember Spirit pick seems like a very, I don't know, it doesn't seem effective to me. Right off the draft, I felt that it was a lackluster pick. Ember Spirit, contrary to popular belief, is not that great against Illusion heroes if he doesn't have farm.
No, yeah, and as we see build-wise, the Invoker obviously picking up that Orchid very early on. That's just causing a hell of a lot of problems for the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, with the Invis initiation, it's going to be so difficult. And now with the Terrorblade, like I said, he just waits for the conflict to die down or be elsewhere. And he just comes out, Metamorphosis up, split at Manta style. And you can't send one guy to defend against the Terrorblade. That's one of the key things about this hero, because if you TP on the wrong thing, you get close enough for reflection range. He just Manta splits, focuses all the illusion damage on you, and you just die in 2-3 seconds. So that's pretty much how the Terrorblade has been played, at least in my pubs. I'm not sure how the other people play it, but most of the times, especially pubs and pros, they just do split push with the Terrorblade. They don't make him a man fight hero, if that's what you call it.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right. Just until he kind of has those big items online, like a complete Manta style, then he's probably able to join the fights head on. But other than that, yeah, he's going to be looking just to chip down at these towers and doing a pretty good job of it so far. You know, taking down all the tier 1s and tier 2s, the mid one and the top lane. They're both looking pretty low at the moment, so another push could quite easily finish them off. So Invoker, with the phase boost and the Orchid, what do you expect him to be going for next, item-wise?
He could go, I wouldn't be surprised if he actually even goes for a BKB now, actually. He could go for 4-star for more mobility, maybe Eel Scepter, maybe even a Hex Lincoln Sphere, possible, but I actually think BKB wouldn't be a bad choice in this case. He could go for more Invoker-ish items, or even return back to a Drum for more stats. But it's really up to him. His build is very open from here, but I would opt for more mobility, so maybe a Force or even Blink Dagger to be cute.
Yeah, Blink Dagger up Invoker would be cool. It's not something that we see every day, but it could work in this kind of engagements that have been having up against speed gaming. And Rubik did have the Sleight of Fist then. He's using it to farm the camps quite nicely, so he's working his way towards the Blink Dagger, and he's pretty close as well. You know, only a couple of 100 gold away from picking that up. So they're going to have a fair bit of initiation, LGD, obviously with the Blink also on the Centaur alongside the Stampede. So it's definitely getting to the point where they're ready to just go head on for the fights, I think.
Yeah, and if you notice the Terrorblade's rotation now, he's at the top lane, the rest of his team is at bottom. So this is how Terrorblade's played. He goes elsewhere, he starts a fire somewhere else in the jungle, and then the rest of his team just try and drag the fireman away. That's how he does things.
Talking about starting a fire, he's saved up 3.8k gold. He's not going to go for the Radiance, is he, at this point?
I don't think it's a good idea.
Nah.
I think he just wants to buy the Manta at one shot, which he can now. He could be going for Radiance if he really wants to be cute about this, but I don't think so. Oh, Rubik. Oh, he blinks away. Rubik. Oh, he stuns to the left.
Just brought
as well.
it. He just brought the Blink Dagger. He was standing in the secret shop waiting for that last gold coin to trickle in. And he just got it just in time. That's one lucky Rubik.
Yeah, Melody guessing the wrong way, and that's gonna cost them a kill. It's not that big a kill since he already had his Blink Dagger, but for now, it's gonna keep him alive, and with the Blink Dagger, the initiation is there. LGD CDEC, all they want to do now is not die unnecessarily without creating enough space, and they're doing it just right. You see them not going on the aggressive here, right? 3-2-3. I don't know why I call him 3-2-2. It just seems so right to call him that, but it's 3-2-3, and he gets blown up by a couple of spells, and it does bring up the score to 12 and 8. It's still not too huge a difference, despite what you might think with a Terrorblade and whatnot. 1,500 net worth favoring the Radiant, and the XP graph nearly 0. So TB. Still keeping up the TB, it's 4.7k now. Might be a Sanjin Yasha, man. Might be a
It
Sanjay
could
Yash.
be.
Radiant's
I
middle
think I'd
tower
much
is
rather see
being
the Manta
attacked.
style, especially when you get playing up against the Silence from Sky, but he might go back for the Sanjay Yasha.
Structures have been
We never know
fortified.
with these Chinese teams. They might try something a little bit
Radiant's middle tower is
different.
under siege.
Mid lane, they're trying to put pressure on
Dire's
Speed
top
Gaming
tower
here,
is
and
being attacked.
TP's coming in, and they're going to look to fight this. Primal Split's available, but Invoker goes straight in with the Silence on Brew. He does get the blink off. They're trying to fight Timber as he tries to escape, but now he's turning around. He's got the back of the Sanking. They're going straight in on Invoker. Stampede's pop though. QQ Walk as well. He's out of there, and now we see Leshrac trying to find a return kill, and he finds it onto the Sanking, but he's getting very low himself. Timbersaw picks up that, and it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. But Invoker gets out. Leshrac for a Sanking. That's not too bad a trade for either side. What's the Brew doing though, Lysander?
Oh, the Panda just getting stuck in the trees there and just having to use a panic ulti, and maybe he'll survive. He's running away, he's getting burned down by the Ember Spirit, and he got to get out there. Time to actually go and charge, and the clap is going to take him out. So that's going to be a kill there. The Timbersaw does get the charge on him, so he would have gone down anyway. Now, Centaur having brought back into the game, going to be jumping over for the Timber. Will he get a suicide off? No, he does not need it. He zips to the side. Rubik comes in. Is there going to be a suicide? Where is your Sudoku friend? Not going to use it. Too much health, too much regen. He does stay alive there. Centaur having to book out of there as well. 14 to 12. They lose 3. LGD CDEC all of a sudden doesn't seem to be too confident in this fight. And I was just about to say that Speed Gaming don't have the right heroes for pushing towers and applying pressure, but it's easy to push towers when the enemy heroes are dead, so.
Indeed. That was a pretty fantastic fight for SPG, and that gave them a lot of XP and a lot of gold as well. I think they gained about 4k XP according to the fight recap there, which is going to put them in a pretty strong place.
I missed the fight recap, sob. But yeah, looks
Lysander,
like Terrorblade's
come
gonna fancy himself a Radiance, which I kind of disagree with. I don't know. I think the Brute Force Terrorblade works a lot better, especially with BKB. If you ever get the jump on the tier 2 or tier 3 tower, you just do your Mass Illusion party, nuke the wave, and just BKB and just shoot the tower, because they can't do anything against you. And you eventually just take out a Rex this way. I think it's that's the way to do it. And they have to blow an epicenter to kill off your illusions. And I think that's pretty worth for BKB charge as well. This Radiance push does extend the game really long. It also has this moment where you are vulnerable. Oh, there's a good silence there from this Skyrim. It just got poured out right in his face up top. But yeah, it's kind of a... I don't know if it's a safe play, but it's a coward's play, I would say. You have a hero as strong as Terrorblade for taking down towers, and you build into a Radiance. You open up that small window where you are still stuck at that 1000 health to try and do something. Do something like split push. I don't know, you should only split push when you're far behind. I could be wrong. Invoker trades his life for Ember Spirit once again. Space making.
Yeah, and as you said earlier, I think it's still worth it, shutting down the Ember, because the Ember's getting pretty scary now. He's got 1 Battle Fury complete. You know, he's picked up the Broadsword again. He's gonna... Well, I imagine he'll go for the crit next rather than the second Battle Fury straight off the bat.
Dire's top
But
tower
he's getting a
is
lot of farm
under
under his
siege.
belt. And, I mean, having a look at the net
Dire's
worth, what are we
structures
seeing
have
at the
been
moment?
fortified.
Terrorblade and Ember pretty close. I mean,
Yeah.
pretty much head on head.
I wouldn't say pretty scary. I think that's an over-exaggeration, but he's getting there. A 1 Battle Fury. I would say 2 to 3 Battle Furies with a Daedalus is pretty scary, but for now he's dishing out some damage. The Terrorblade, I feel he's not doing as much as he would like. Oh wow, this guy, 333. I don't know, man. Might be another number, but that's your BKB from the Panda. He does have his ultimate ready. He does split into it right now. The Terrorblade still chasing after him. Does do a lot of physical bursts. The stun goes out onto the Terrorblade Metamorphosis, but he does spin up one of the illusions. And he uses the ultimate to escape along with his 10-second BKB charge. Not the best micro I have seen here. But Panda is just gonna run for the hills, and the hills he will run to. With the BKB now down to 9 seconds and a rather pointless ultimate. So it might actually encourage CDEC to push with this TP Metamorphosis. Nope, he's going back to farm.
Yeah, and I guess Steve, so he's picked up the Radiance. I mean, now surely he's going to go for finishing off the Manta, and then maybe we'll see something like a Heart or a Butterfly on him. Do you reckon?
Heart or
Dire's
Butterfly.
bottom
Yeah,
tower is
finish the
under
Manta,
siege.
then we can maybe talk. I don't think Terrorblade will go Heart. He would go Scardy
No.
if he ever wants the health.
Okay, yeah.
But because he benefits from all the stats actually, except for intelligence, but it still does him pretty good to have a slow attack on his main hero, so I think that works out for him. So Manta into Scardy, Manta, Butterfly. If you want to destroy buildings, Butterfly is your thing. So he doesn't seem to want to destroy buildings, he just seems to want to kill creep waves with his glowing presence.
Yeah, and I guess also with the butterfly evasion, it's going to make it a lot harder for the Ember Spirit to kind of just take him down with a slight fist. So it could work out nicely in that sense as well.
I never liked the Radiance Terrorblade because the Radiance just doesn't destroy creep waves fast enough. With Naga, you have Riptide to help out on that one, but in this case, apart from cancelling the obvious Blink Daggers, which would be cool, I think. If he's getting it for that, then I just got next level outcasted, but otherwise, I don't think Radiance was better over Manta in this situation. And the reason he died in the jungle in that earlier fight was because he had a Radiance recipe sitting in his inventory instead of a Manta style. So it's on him if they lose this game.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I can think they picked it up, obviously it was just after they'd had that really bad team fight mid, so perhaps they were just realizing that they're not going to be able to fight head on with someone like, you know, the Ember Spirit, and they're just going to try and look for the split push, look for the rat, and for that they're just going to pick up the Radiance. But at the moment, it's not doing a huge amount, as you said, it's just not as effective as picking up the Radiance on a Naga, because you haven't got anything else to nuke down the wave.
Yeah, the 4-staff it is for Invoker, and he's still got 1,000 gold on him. We'll see what he decides to proceed into. It looks like it's going to be a mass amount of 4-stars. Really effective 4-stars, because Skyrim's ultimate does need you to stay in place, and 4-stars really mess up his game plan when it comes to that. And even Ember Spirit, to an extent, the Searing Chains are not hard disables. They just lock you in position, so 4-staffing out of it is very possible. And I like it because you can force yourself out of epicenters and everything else as well. So it's a good item to counter up Speed Gaming's aggressive potential. And this guy, Skyruff, thinking he's the Blade Mail Nature's Prophet, getting mass null talisman, so con frickin' Gradies. Just noticed this.
Oh wow, yeah. Oh indeed, yeah. I don't know how that's going to work out for him. Yeah, non-talisman apparently pretty darn good item. Yeah, as you said, seeing it on NPs, maybe we're going to start seeing it on Skies now in the pub games. They're going to go for the non-talisman build after following in the steps of, how do you pronounce his name, Lysander?
Arteezy?
Yes. Is that the Chinese for Arteezy on top of Sky then?
Oh, no. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce this. Yeah, it's in Chinese, which is the Chinese I don't use. It's like traditional Chinese and simplified Chinese. I studied simplified Chinese. So I wasn't going to try and translate any of these. It's like this guy, Panda's name is Yifang something Hang, I think. But I don't know. I could be wrong, so I'm not even going to try. I just know that Terrorblade is Shangtou, which is up hit if you directly translate it, but I'm not going to try.
Fair enough. So, well, Pipe out on the Centaur. Vlad's finished up on the Brew. That's going to be on the way soon. And yeah, with that BKB as well, I think both teams are ready to fight. They're kind of playing a little bit passively there at the moment. Just Terrorblade sending in the occasional illusion to push out the lanes. But SPG looking for the farm. You know, Ember Spirit's finished off his second Battle Fury. He's got a hefty amount of gold to go straight into the crit stick next. And when he's got the 2 Battle Furies and the crit, that's a pretty dangerous Ember Spirit. That's not going to be nice to fight up against.
It looks like Terrorblade is actually getting a heart, like he said. So this Terrorblade is just making me look bad. So it might be your friend. Is he your friend? Because he's making me look bad. First he got a Radiance, and then he got a heart when he said he should get Scotty. So
maybe it's me. You know, maybe I'm in this game, and you just don't know it, Lysander.
Yeah, maybe I don't. Sunstrike periodic checks here on Roshan gives him the occasional suntan as well, but no one's bothered him all game, so no one wanting to really risk it, because we've seen a lot of games in 6.82 go wrong thanks to Roshan's relocation. I blame it on the lack of the Rosh tree.
That's true, yeah. That poor old tree, especially with Timbersaw in the game as well. I'm sure he's missing that tree. In fact, they might have just picked Timbersaw because of that tree, and they just forgot about the changes, and that's perhaps why SPG didn't get off to a good start, because of the absence of the Roche tree.
Yeah, CDEC maybe. He's slowed down a lot. I mean, he got a really fast orchid, and then he didn't really do much about that. He has a... Alright, so people are saying that Sangto means forehead, so Terrorblade is forehead. Is that a pun? I don't know, because... it doesn't make much sense to me, but neither does 333 comma, so
Radiant's bottom tower is under siege.
I just keep calling him CDEC because 333 sounds like the end of a username that is duplicated. Alright, here comes Q. He's gonna go for his unassisted stun. Not gonna do anything from it. There's gonna be Chakram still stolen, no Whirling Death, so pretty pointless for Ruby to get Whirling Death. A very premature Metamorphosis here from the Terrorblade. I don't know about the Terrorblade's plays so far, but He hasn't made any kind of glaring errors just of yet, so I'm gonna hold back on the Flamen. But this Terrorblade is not playing the standard.
Yeah, I mean, he's keeping on top of the net worth. You know, he's definitely finding his farm, but as for the contribution to the team in terms of team fight, and even the split push hasn't been too amazing. I mean, yeah, they have managed to take down the tier 2 on the top lane, but we're 32 minutes in and the other tier 2 is still standing when you've got a pretty kitted out Terrorblade. But you never know, as we get later and later into the game, perhaps his true colours are going to shine and he's just going to absolutely destroy the side of SPG. We'll just have to wait and see.
This Skyroth is really trying his best to be a nature's prophet. If he gets a Blade Mail next, it'll be really funny. Alright, Invis versus Invis.
Oh, he needs to be careful. Sky is in a lot of trouble there.
No, he does know the Invoker's Invis. Oh, there's a jam as well. They're gonna silence it up. No, the silence comes from the Invoker. It's a quick draw, and Skyroth was in the losing end of that one. There's a Power Strike cross onto Garter as well. He goes into Sandstorm, runs away. Invoker, quick draw master there.
Yes, indeed. Finding the kill and making Brewmaster pop his BKB. You know, that's the down to 8 seconds now, so it's slowly getting a little bit weaker and weaker. And obviously with the 6.82 change, you know, no possibility to rebuy a new BKB. So these kind of early mid-game BKBs, if the game goes late, they kind of been nerfed pretty heavily. And Emma Spirit needs to be careful here. So Invoker coming in with the Orchid. He's probably going to silence up straight away. And there we go. Yeah, it comes in nicely. This Stomp misses. Cold Snap hits, but it's actually not going to be enough. And he's actually going to be just able to run away. And so
they're actually looking for the counter initiation. Oh, look at that Radiant's Terrorblade preventing Blink Daggers. So good. So darn good. But I don't know, man. It's helping them run for sure. And disjointing team fights. But I've never seen a Terrorblade keep tier 2 towers up for so long before. Such a merciful Terrorblade. He's taken one tier 2 tower, and I don't even think that was him.
I don't think it was actually. He got it very low with the illusions, but yeah, I think someone else just came in with the push and finished off. He's finished off his heart, you know, and he's got 2.1k, so he's able to pick up that ultimate orb as part of the Manta. But he's had that Yasha for a long time. He's just not wanting to complete it into the Manta style. We'll probably see him go for Boots of Travel or something before he does it, if he continues with the way he's playing.
His build order has been a little bit weird, but in the end, Terrorblade's a fast farmer, so all roads lead to Rome's. To be L deep for a little bit here, but yeah, all roads lead to Rome, and eventually he'll have his 6 items that he does need to be a proper Terrorblade. For now, he's just like, I can't decide what I really want. I think I want some regen to farm up the jungle. I want this Yasha for speed and just value and radiance because I like Naga and stuff like that. So he's just all around the place, but eventually he'll get the Manta, he'll get the Skadi, and he'll be the Terrorblade everyone loves. And speaking of Roshan, they'll go in right now.
Yeah, it's not gonna be the quickest Roshan, but it's also gonna be potentially quite easy because it looks like LGD, they're not ready to kind of contest it, as we see 3 of them pushing up in the dire jungle. And even though it's gonna take them a bit of time, I think Speed Gaming should be pretty safe in picking up the Aegis this time.
Yeah, no one's bothering to fight at all, and there's a Sunstrike to give them a little periodic check and a tickle on the back. But Emma Spirit, he does get it with an easy double damage, double Battle Fury. Normally you would see the Battle Fury 1, Daedalus, and then second Battle Fury because that's the highest calculated damage build, I think. That's how you do it. Battle Fury and then Daedalus gives you the highest damage output. But double Battle Fury for the quicker wave clearing, I guess that's pretty understandable as well. And he already does have the Crystallis, and Daedalus not too far away as well, so nothing too much lost there, as LGD have been rather merciful on that Terrorblade push.
Yeah, it looks like they're backing off. I think you're right as well with the Ember Spirit. I think the fact that he went for the 2 Battle Furies first was just for farming. You know, he realised that he needed both Battle Furies and the Daedalus really to do anything about the Terrorblade push, so he just kind of realised, I'm going to be farming for the most part of it, so I'll just pick up the second Battle Fury first, and then in the long term, it will speed up his farm. And yeah, he's pretty much finished off the Daedalus. He's got the Demon Edge money available, just needs 1k gold to go, and a couple of waves of creep should do that for him.
Yeah, the game has not been as active as I thought it would, because there's a lot of team fight that could be coming up from Speed Gaming, but Panda's very happy with just popping BKBs and running away. And really, he hasn't been getting a lot of opportunities to fight because his team is either dead, not there, or they're just not in the same place at once. But now they're grouping up, they could actually look for kills. Compared to the single pickoffs they've been getting so far. Skyroth has not decided to get his Blade Mail just yet, but he does smoke up with his Panda and Sand King. So maybe they look for another gank, but hopefully it's not just a lowly support where they just pick up and then they just go back to farming and let the Terrorblade get 6 slotted. Because in my opinion, this Terrorblade build is a perfect opening for a lot of teams to just get on in to deal a lot of damage. But they're letting it sit, and now that he has his Manta style, it's even worse for them. He's still farming the jungle though.
He is, yeah, and with that bit of aggression coming out, but SPG aren't going to find anything. There are some of them smoked up. Ember Spirit leading the charge, but yeah, the side of LGD, they don't want to fight into the shadows, and they're going to back right up.
Yeah, Daedalus is complete for Ember Spirit, so... Oh, this is Terrorblade thinking that the last point in Reflection is too good for him, and he does not actually skill it. Might be a misclick. I don't know, it just feels like he's not too familiar with this hero's playstyle. I've seen other pro players do their Terrorblade, and it's a lot more powerful than this. I'm not saying I'm the best Terrorblade player or anything, but I think I've seen Terrorblades being more scary in this.
Radiant's bottom
He gets his
tower
haste
is
rune
being
stolen
attacked.
from him, and meanwhile, the death ball from Speed Gaming happening bottom. They all grouping up, looking to fight here. They know that
Radiant's
LGD don't have
bottom
the
tower
huge
has been
team fight
destroyed.
that could just blow them up like an Echo Slam, so they're just gonna group up and try and take their chances, especially with the Aegis. The Ice Wall is gonna come up and stall the Creep Wave, but the Radiant Creep Wave just instant dice. Eevee in a lot of trouble. He could have to use his Bloodstone here, but no, he's not. Panda goes in, pop the BKB, trying to use it a little bit before using his ultimate. There's going to be the Arcane Ball following the Centaur, but Ember Spirit steals it in the end, and now they lose the Centaur. The Stampede is down as well, and Speed Gaming looking to push up high ground here. We'll see if they're successful as Terrorblade is heading away up top there for their base, and instantly all the TPs come back out, and we have an inkling, a stench of Naga, if you will, here as this move is done.
Yeah, and I think this is going to happen time and time again. Every time Speed Gaming look for the kind of push and commit as a 5-man, there's always going to be a Terrorblade knocking on your back door, and they need to be careful about that. They have got Ember Spirit. Obviously, he can always TP back, leave a remnant in the fight, clear out the illusions, and then head straight back into the team fight. So I think they've definitely got the means to deal with the push from Terrorblade. I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue. It's just going to be kind of annoying. And, well, Ember Spirit now sitting on 3k gold. What do you think he goes for now? Does he go for a second crit? Or is he going to go for some tank ability? Or, butterfly? Or maybe even a heart? Travels? Yeah, I guess, yeah. Pick them up next one.
Yeah, to exploit the remnant thing that you were talking about, I think Travels would be good. I'm surprised Brewmaster hasn't gone for Acronyms, instead opting for a lot of auras. So, he's going to go for that instead. Not going to go for Acronyms, doesn't really think it's necessary.
Okay.
I'm sitting on the fence on this one. I'm not really sure if it's a big deal or not in this situation, but I always think that the extra Thunderclap could be good for team fights, especially with the extra duration on the Primal Split as well. Could be useful, but most of his Primal Splits have been used defensively, so I'm not too sure. Invoker throws out a cheeky Tornado before TPing out, damaging the Creep Wave a little bit. But so far they're sitting back again. Terrorblade is going to hit max goal soon, and he's going to be peaking, if that's the word to use.
Yeah, it's getting to the point where Terrorblade is getting very close to being 6-slotted. And it's just whether a 6-slotted Terrorblade can stand up against an Ember. And I don't think he can. I think he literally does just need to look for the split push and hope that he can catch SPG on the other side of the map whilst he does so. Because this Ember is going to be able to take him on full-on head-on with the amount of fun that Ember's got at this point.
The thing with 6.82 is also that I feel that the patch was made to specifically discourage mass amount of farming, and because of that I think Chinese Dota might take a hit. But of course it doesn't matter when both of them are playing with one another, because Chinese will play Chinese against another Chinese, so they're still going to try and farm against one another, but if a team knows how to exploit the certain farm advantages that have been coming, oh, they're going to jump here on MCR, he's going to get caught out, the Ember Spirit gets deafening blasted, and he's going to fall to the ground slow-mo style. And we get a kill after quite a long time, and they return to farming once again. Well, like I said, the Chinese farming style, I don't think it's that great for this, or rather not necessary for this version, because the amount of money in XP you get is really quick in this version. So supports and cores can get their gold quick. It's all part of trying to make the game not so farm intensive or death ball-y in a sense. I think it's a good balance. Whether or not it's been the perfect balance is another thing to be debate upon, but I don't think you need to farm that much, TLDR.
Yeah, I think you're bang on. I think with the tweaks that Ice Frog's been making, just trying to bring the patch not too far away from the 6.81 in terms of gold and XP gain, I think he's getting somewhere with it. And looks like LGD.
Oh,
Looks trying to push it to the high ground, yeah.
TV push. Yeah. If he had a BKB, he could be a little bit more brave with this, but he does not. So he's gonna have to stay on the low ground and just shoot up and take his chances with the high ground miss. But so far, he has managed to do 300 points of damage to this tier 3 tower with his Metamorphosis. He might want to proceed to do more tower damage from now on, but nope. It's farm time. Welcome to the Rise.
To the impurity.
Indeed. And Butterfly finished. He just needs to pick up the boots to travel, and then what do you think he picks up as his final item for his 6th slot? Scardy?
I would say BKB.
BKB.
I would say even sell the Radiance because I never agreed with the item in the first place. But he could go for Scardy first, then realize he needs magic immunity and then go for BKB. But I think he's a little bit too tanky for Speed Gaming to take him out now before he gets off Sunder. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I think that's also a benefit going the way of LGD in the sense that they're riding on a Terrorblade who's incredibly tanky and can't really be bursted down by SPG, whereas SPG, they're relying on an Ember Spirit who, you know, once he does get locked down, even though he deals out so much damage, he's a pretty big class cannon, and he's going to get absolutely smashed if they catch him out of place.
Huh. Ember Spirit. He's got BKB now, so short of a Hex, they're not blowing him up. Oh, we have fights? No, maybe. I love using this pun, so fun. There's your Timbersaw. He's gonna go for the Shiva's got Timbersaw jumped into the wrong neighborhood. Is he gonna be able to suicide himself in time? No, Lashrak ends the streak there for an extra 509 bucks. So we get another kill here, brings it up to 18 and 14, 2,000 gold in difference. Not sure why the gold graph is so balanced despite all that farming has been going on, but the XP graph, it's heavily favoring Speed Gaming, so as one-sided as you called this to be, I don't think it is.
No, I think, yeah, both teams have got a real good shot in this at this point. Looking at Leshrak, obviously got a little bit of extra gold from that kill. He's on a hell of a lot of money. Do you think he's going to go for the BKB? See, I prefer to see an Aghanims, because if he picks up the BKB, it would be so he can obviously just stand there and push the high ground, you know, melting down the towers. But BKB is not going to help you against a Sleight of Fist coming out from Ember. And one crit really could spell a lot of disaster for the Leshrak. So, I mean, with that kind of money, I'd rather expect the Aghanim Scepter to come out just to help with the damage in team fights, especially with the BKBs on Speed Gaming getting so low in duration now.
No, he's not building into Aghanims nor BKB. He's picked up an ultimate orb. I think he realizes he needs a hex. So
okay, so he's going back on that.
Yeah, it could very well be a BKB because the BKB is more for the Burrow Strike stuns, the slow Timbersaw's burst damage. I think it's still useful because if you don't have BKB, you can get spun up in the air by the tornado. You get hit by all the collateral damage that's flying out from Sand King and the Skyraft. So you could just die for being in the crossfire. So I think BKB is going to be important. Aghanims, as much as I would like to see the huge glowy Lashrak going around destroying people, I don't think it's going to happen yet. But then again, these guys have been listening to you, so I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see.
Look at this Terrorblade, man. He gets BKB now. He listens to me. There
we go. He's finally decided to side with Lysander, yeah. And yeah, I mean, this is the chance to push up to the high ground. I mean, as you said, you know, with the BKB, he could pretty much just stand there for the most of it, hammering down on the structures.
Yeah, I don't know, man. CDEC, they're the guys that can't decide on what they want to buy. And it's like, oh, ooh, cool, Ogre Club, 1,000 bucks, I'll get it. And oh, Yasha, I'm gonna get it. And I'm just gonna buy a heart because that's why I get for Naga and Illusion Hero. So I'm just gonna get Illusion Hero item. And now he does pop his Metamorphosis a little bit early once again. You really want to really juice out as many seconds as you can from that ultimate. I guess when you're just doing something like that, feeding away the illusions, that's pretty justified.
I don't care either.
I don't know, it seems like a huge waste, and there he goes right in there, he's gonna pop a BKB just to run into the fight, gonna chew down on this tier 2 tower, that's what the BKB is for, son, but perhaps try it on a tier 3 the next time. That's a very inefficient use of BKB, right there. Oh, LGD CDEC, Mr. Forehead.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, I guess he wanted that BKB, and he wanted to show it off, and he does just that. He does it.
He wants to be really big, you know, Metamorphosis and BKB.
Yeah.
Let's make your hero size really huge.
He wants to take
size matters to this man. Oh, there we go. Beat up that Timbersaw. That's right. Show him who's boss. And there's your BKB. Suicide incoming. No, not going to use it for now. Sand King jumps on it. Gets silenced right away. But Timbersaw feeling extra brave. Going to jump right in as well. Terrorblade. Now you're losing his Metamorphosis form because he used it rather early. And, oh, he's going to head on out of there. And we get a tier 2 tower at the end of that. No one dying, a lot of BKBs been used, and I don't know, man. With BKBs now being DNA coded to your hero, this game will end eventually, in theory, but it's gonna take a little bit more while, and this Terrorblade is still very content with what he has done so far. It's like, hey, I got 9 second BKB, the rest of them only got a low, well, they've got 9 seconds in Ember as well. Maybe only Timbersaw has been jamming that, but no, all of them have 9, so I'm tripping.
Bruce a little bit lower, he's down to 7.
Okay. So not just yet, so they're gonna gank up some Force Spirits in the river, and the action stops again. Roshan's back.
Indeed it is, and yeah, Brew just going straight for that. Some big items coming out just then as well for Speed Gaming. Brew with the AC complete, and also the Timbersaw. He's picked up the Aghanim's now, so we'll see how much that comes into play. I want to see how well this works out for him, because it is a huge increase in burst damage, and it looks pretty damn cool as well, so he gets points for that.
Yeah, he's the pizza man now. Gonna dive some pizzas around, and we'll see what he does. Oh, that's a Terrorblade. That's a real one as well. He's gonna be chased down here. BKB, let's go! Fight, fight, fight! Metamorphosis split into your illusions. All of them get blown up, but Ember Spirit in a lot of trouble himself. Gets destroyed. He has Nagus, so that's round 2 for him. CDEC Santo is out of BKB now. Good deafening blast keeps him down for now. Sarah BKB time, no time at all for that one. But they do lose a lot of heroes. A big epicenter comes across. That's your double chakram, doing a lot of space. Pizzas all around for everybody, and oh maybe running away. BKB have activated, so he's going to resist the slope, but just a bit of good force stuff. Gets the Shiva cold onto all of them, so Garda's going to take a sneeze, catches some flu, and he'll get knocked out. 4 heroes lost at the Rush Pit. Speed Gaming takes it home, and well, only losing the Skyruff and the Ember's double life. He did buy back for that one, so it's not that huge. We'll go click that team fight recap before we lose everything. XP change, 4k gold change, 1,000 loss, 1,000 gain here, and all that good stuff. So we get some bar strikes here and there. We have got Wax used 4 times, keeping the proper stats in check here, Vovo, as always. And well, with that one fight, this is the best of one. The rares could be going the wrong way this game.
Indeed, and that Timbersaw, I think the Axe did it. As you said, the pizza man arrived and it was buy one get one free. Pizzas flying everywhere, and LGD looks like they don't know how to cope with the old pizza in China. Having a tough time against that.
What are these guys doing? They've been beating on the tower for 20 seconds and trying to fight the backdoor region. I don't know.
Oh, they're finally get it.
Yeah, they get it. It's hilarious. Oh man. But that was a good jump back by the Ember Spirit. Like you said, one of the strong points about him is even if he gets blown up, so long he has a Remnant there, he can always re-enter the fight with a quick buyback. And that really turned the fight, I think. The chopping and the huge epicenter coming out from Darude himself. Gonna be able to destroy all the enemy heroes. And Terrorblade, despite being 6 slotted, doesn't feel too effective in these fights.
Yeah, I think it's getting to the point what we were talking about, where Terrorblade's 6 slotted against an Ember that's potentially going to be 6 slotted very soon. He's holding the gem at the moment, but well, I guess we'll trade in his face boots for a new pair of boots of travel, and then he'll decide what he's going to go finally. But it's looking pretty scary, I think, for LGD at this point in the game.
You know, Terrorblade is... I think he's kind of the hero that is good against stationary targets. He's good against guys that can't run. But there are a lot of rather quick feet people here. Timbersaw being one of them, Ember Spirit being another. Sand King is literally Houdini himself, so I don't know. It's really hard for him to kill anyone. Skyruff is too spooky for him, so I don't think Terrorblade can really kill anyone. And he's started to rack up the feats despite killing all the creeps. 588 creeps have died for his items, and he's amassing a fortune, but what can he buy with this? He can only buy boots of travel now. Sell the Radiance, my man. Sell the Radiance.
Yes. But I don't know. I don't think he can go to the shop and buy a victory. That's the problem here. There's no kind of game-winning item that he can pick up, because at the moment he's just not doing enough damage in these fights. And the Mass Ghost Scepter as well coming out from speaking on the Sand King and Skyruff, really proving an issue for him to even just pick off the supports. So he kind of gets lost. He doesn't know who to focus in these fights, and with Ember Spirit zipping around as well, all hell kinds of breaks loose, and then you get Mr. Domino's delivering the pizzas, and I don't know, it's going to be hard.
Alright, but we do have double hex now on LGD though, so they might get a good hex the next time. Ember is short of buyback now. He might get travels, he might not, we'll see. But he just needs to not die for the next 2 minutes 40 seconds, and then we'll have that whole thing reset once again. And maybe eventually we'll see a base getting cracked. I am very surprised. We are 52 minutes in and none of the tier 3 towers are even shivering. They're all like, oh, life's good, man. How are you, melee Rex? How are you, range Rex? And I feel pretty healthy myself. The Terrorblade not harming us at all. The closest he got was 300 damage. Yeah, 300 damage.
Yeah, and one interesting thing to note, obviously in the drafting phase, LGD, they picked the Terrorblade and they banned the Naga. Now, if you had a Naga at this stage of the game in your team with the same items the Terrorblade has, do you think that would be more comfortable for LGD, or do you think the Terrorblade's the better hero to have at this point?
No, I think the Terrorblade is better because Terrorblade can destroy towers right at the get-go, whereas Naga needs a little bit of time. She needs that radiance, but this guy had all the time in the world. He had the drums, he had the Yasha, and then he says, "I'm a pull a Naga, so you can call me Slitters now." And he just picks it up, goes full Naga, and never go full Naga, man. No.
And looks like they're gonna look to push as a 5-mana.
At least he's not using meta that early now. Oh, we'll see. There's Shiva's guy. The Terrorblade is getting chased down by a Timbersaw. And just slowing him. They're going to force the BKB charge on him. That's a Piggy Saw. But Sankey comes on in. He gets silenced up and slowed. He's going to get blown up by that mass amount of damage coming up from the Terrorblade. Yuri unable to throw out his charges. There's a slam onward from the Panda. Really big hits coming out here. They take down 2. Somehow the Timbersaw still alive. We'll see if this guy gets out there. Is there a chain? There's a chain. They lock him down. Where's the Thunder? I've not seen the Thunder all game. There we go. Trades live with the Ember Spray. Now goes for a second round here. Yui just sticking around. He's just getting perma-stun right now. 6 slots. Oh, Terrorblade gets destroyed. 3 heroes lost. And Invoker is head in the clouds, and he does go for silence. Oh man, that guy blew up. And Yui does get silenced for a bit there, but does not die. This guy has been really cool with the whole no suicide thing. He is all about the anti-suicide. Has not used the Bloodstone suicide once this game. 16 charges.
Yeah, he's doing very well and very clever with the plays here, this Timbersaw. He knows exactly when to call it quits, and it hasn't been that chance yet. You know, he's been getting out of these fights on a tiny bit of health, but I guess you gotta. He's just so tanky at the moment, and yeah, picking up the Ultimate Orb. Do you think that's going to be a hex for himself?
Who?
For the Timbersaw.
Yep, most likely. I think disables at this point would be very helpful, especially catching out the Terrorblade. Although he does seem to be in a little bit of a daze in the last few fights, just not knowing what to hit. He didn't manage to tunnel vision the Sand King down, I think failing to kill him, but I still managing to tunnel vision him a little bit, but I don't know, man. Every time I cast and people tell me that, oh, this game's gonna be one-sided, oh, this game is all in the bag, it doesn't ever happen like that. It just happens to be a throw or an upset or something. 6.82 is my patch, man. All the comeback games, all the throws. Here comes 333, BKB on him, the concussive shot as well. Tries to slow him down, but he pops his BKB in vain, and now he's gonna run away. The Terrorblade is gonna send illusions after the enemies, but they're on their way out, not gonna risk their lives there. So we see the first tier 3 tower taken by the team without Terrorblade.
Indeed, so the high ground finally broken. And I was amazed they didn't hang around a little bit too longer there. I think they could have taken that fight, but it looks like they were just a little bit too scared as LGD were all coming back to life. And in fact, a smoke up from LGD. And a quick pause from Timbersaw. I don't think LGD will be able to find anything here because looks like Speed Gaming just heading straight back to the base at the moment.
Oh, he needs to go to PWC. So they're going to, while he's taking a potty break, we can actually look at the status of the game. I know we all talked enough about Terrorblade. Well, we can look at a little bit at his allies. Rubik's actually working towards his Aghanim Scepter, and Lashrak. We'll see what his Ogre Club does built into Invoker. Well, what do you think LGD needs? Alright, that's the key question. What do you think LGD needs to carry this Terrorblade to victory?
I think LGD, what do they need? Well, I think an Assault Cuirass would be nice on one of their heroes, I think, for the pushes. And to kind of counteract the Bruise one. I think that could help them a lot in the team fight, and especially with the physical damage coming out from Terrorblade, allowed to burst them down. Invoker, in terms of what he's building, so he's got the Scythe up, you know, he's got the Sheep, he's able to hack someone up, but I think also what's quite key at the moment is getting off those combos and getting those spells out. So maybe even something like an Aghanim's into Refresher as his final 2 items I'd like to see personally, because the BKBs, they are getting lower and lower on the side of Speed Gaming, and Invoker could kind of come back into play quite heavily when there's no magic immunity up on the side of Speed Gaming, and that could be the time for them to take fights.
Well, Aghanim's Refresher.
We
Does he
haven't
have
seen, I've
slots
not
for
seen
that?
it in a long time. Well,
Okay.
I mean, who needs a 4-star? He can get rid of that.
True, sure. Everything for more Grimorium, so we'll see some live Grimorium here. We'll see. Oh, well, Iwi is about to get jumped once again. We'll see if he gets out of there in time. He has so far avoided dying unnecessarily, and there we go. Lift him up. There's a stopper for good chase done so far. There's a Metamorphosis. He's now a pig. 4 stops away. BKB on Sangto. He's running away. He's focusing down the Ember Spirit. Ember Spirit just gonna zip on out of there. There's your Temper Soldiers feeling brave once again, and he sees, oh, Airblade, you're out of your BKB. Now there's your Piggy. That's Chakram 1. That's Chakram 2. And fight's over. Right.
Yeah, a bit of a
I was just
stalemate.
building up to the good part.
Yeah, and it never came, did it? Unfortunately. Both teams get out pretty much unscathed. They're fine.
Oh, so we're gonna have Brewmaster pick up the Assault Cuirass. Still doesn't have Aghanim Scepter. I don't believe I've seen this before. No Aghanims on a Brewmaster late game. It's nearly, we're closing up to that 1 hour gap. And I don't think this game is to blame, the patch is not to be blamed for this game's duration, I think. It's more of the item choices as well as the player choices being made. It's just not how I envisioned this game going out for LGD. I mean, if it was any Western team, I could see this being a real bloodbath.
Yeah, I mean, 57 minutes and we're only seeing 21 against 22. It's not a lot of kills for a game of this length.
We'll see what the Terrorblade decides to do here. If he decides to finally let go of his Radiance and buy up something else, Skadi perhaps, or even a Daedalus if he really wants to fight that much and ignore towers. What's his structural damage stat? I would like to see. I would like to see that actually. How much structural damage he has done this game, because he doesn't seem to have done a lot of tower damage at all.
Yeah, not as much as you'd expect a Terrorblade to do, yeah, definitely. I mean, he's definitely been involved in the pushes, you know, they got the tier 1s pretty quickly, but after that, they kind of stalled, and at Speed Gaming were able to hold him off, and, you know, we're at a point where Speed Gaming are the ones that took down the first tier 3 of the game, and well, LGD are yet to break the base.
I think now is just wait for Roshan to wake up and take the next Aegis, cross your fingers and hope for the best. I mean, even with 1 Rex down, I don't see this game ending in a hurry, and I don't know what's wrong with this game, but it should not have taken that long. There are a lot of signs that pointed towards things that could have gone a lot quicker, so we still got 2 more games for today, but you won't be joining me for those, so I still have got 2 more games, and I hope these 2 games will be like that. Oh, there we go, Stampede. We're gonna rush on in on this cute little ball. Look at him, so cute. Armored Pig. He's gonna run away. Is there gonna be a Bloodstone? Yes, he kills himself. Hooray for Sodoko. Now it's 2-2, 2-2 on the score. We all know what song that is. 7,000 gold in the favor of the Dire, and the XP, 10,000. So far they're still in the lead. Timbersaw has managed to cheat a kill off LGD once again, but Terrorblade is going to boots the travel up top. They're going to look for some trouble, and there comes the rat. I think Metamorphosis is still half time on its duration, 31 seconds left though on that meta style.
Yeah, and it's, yeah, they tickle away at the wave, and they're sending illusions up to the tower, but they're not ready to commit. Meanwhile, down bottom, Leshrak, he gets caught out by the entire team of Speed Gaming. Oh, he forces out, but he's going to go down anyway. And at the same time, it looks like Invoker on the run. He should be alright though, he's got the QQ walk up. He's going to be fine for the time being.
Terrorblade has managed to take 1,000 points of life off this tier 3 tower. So it's a milestone for him, and I think you should all congratulate him a little bit.
Alright.
I think blowing BKB charges on just tower sieges now would be a proper thing to do. I don't know, he's running out of those BKB charges. Roshan is back in the fray. MCR can't wait for this team, so it's going to start first. There's a Force Spirit trying to give him a little bit of trouble, but for now, he's just going to be ganking away. Roshan does slam harder now. How much damage does it do? I thought slam did more damage now.
But after that, was it changed?
Yeah, maybe the tooltip isn't working as something. Oh, here comes the cheese. Aegis taken up, and looks like 333 might have just ran into his 322. Double BKB's activated as well. Here comes the Terrorblade. No Metamorphosis, so it's all blades for him. Too spooky. Skyrock Mage, he goes into the ghost form. He's just going to be hiding away. I think he's going to survive anyway. He does! He does survive. Nope, stay away from the radius. Too bright for him. Never mind, has an Aegis. Second life available. Mr. Forehead, where was the Sunder, my friend? Where was the Sunder? Too much panic, low Sunder, and he will actually get brought down. So he was the only casualty in that fight. Skyrock Mage did survive there because he did have Aegis. Where was the cheese? Probably munched on as well. So cheese was taken by Panda, I think.
Yeah, I think Panda got that. Yeah. E-Blade on Skyraf. Woo!
Fun stuff. Here we go. Oh, that's a good hack. Melody Lovers gonna miss the mid-ball though, so he's not gonna get brought down here. Too tanky right now. And we've reached the 61-minute mark, and I don't know, this game has drawn on for a really long time. Meanwhile, middle racks.
Indeed, Terrorblade has got buyback available if he wishes to pop it, but I don't know if he's going to be able to stop this. There's no fortification, but oh, in they come. They're getting the heroes of speed getting very, very low. They lift up the Timber Saw, and they're going to be able to focus him down. Now he's just able to get away, force stuff out. Timber's changed himself to a tree, but now they're focusing down onto the poor old Panda, and he's out of the fight. That's one hero down. They've lost the Timber Saw as well. There's buybacks now from the Panda and from the Timber Saw as well, but at the same time, Terrorblade's gone down, and that was after a buyback, so he's out of the fight for a fair amount of time. Skyrock getting very low. Is the Centaur going to be able to find the kill here? Invoker goes up to the high ground, forces this Sky away, but he's dead anyway. Now Centaur running straight into the fight, and Speed Gaming coming out on top of this. Left Shrek is still alive.
He's still alive indeed. Not for long though. Oh, here comes Rubik to save the day. He's gonna die for that. And yeah, he's gonna pay. He pays, and he pays hard. 3v3 back in the fray. 1 versus 3. The Invoker from the side though, throwing out meatballs. Maybe is definitely gonna down. No maybe about that. Oh, maybe. Okay, maybe. He does survive there. The Centaur goes down for a second time. He will be going down for a second time. 3v3, very low in health now. Goes for final hook stop. His final crush on the ground. And just as I said, he doesn't die again. Timbersaw is now on his buyback life though. The Stampede goes off. Then there's your Panda throwing out that stun. Maybe this time he goes down, right? Yes, he goes down. Punches him with the Ember right in the gonads. And he will take the fall. Range racks to collapse as well, and Terrorblade still sitting it out without his Metamorphosis anyway, so even if he had buyback, it wouldn't have mattered. And he might lose 2 sets of racks here, we shall see, as Invoker buys back into the game. MCR, he does not have buyback for 5 minutes as well. Ooh, gets hexed. There's your last rank coming in here. Timbersaw just jumping to the front there, going brave, going in. Eevee dropping low. That's the Centaur. They beat him down. There's no buyback for him. One chop. The Horseman goes down, but Mizer, he's in trouble himself. There's the silence, the Ember Shield, the Piggy. Round 2. They're gonna lose the Ember Sprint. That's the second time without buyback as well. Good clap though. Will keep the Rubik down. And now Centaur and Invoker versus the Panda, who will feed his life away. Or will he? He's gonna run. Their misses are real. Nope. Nah, no way. No way. Miss. Okay. 29 and 31. I just like jinxing them, man. That's no buyback for Ember and Panda, so they could get some pushes going. There's still Skyrock with the E-Blade. There's still the Sand King. Yeah, Terrorblade's back, yeah. He could actually cause some big trouble in this 100 seconds. But it's one side of Rex gone, and Sand King, wow! Sand King, the space making, coming top.
Yeah, no, they're pinging on the bomb racks here. They're going to need to defend, and as you said, there's no buyback on the Ember Spirit and the Brew. So I'm not quite sure what they're going to do against the push coming out here.
Well, I don't know myself, as Terrorblade ports to the bottom lane. He does have Metamorphosis, so I'm not sure the Skyrock can hold the line enough, because once the TB hits at your door, it is trouble time. I think Sand King should have been somewhere in the middle, just cutting the creep wave. Here we go. We couldn't see the counter throws coming out. There's your Atlas. For once, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. As a Terrorblade, there goes your Rexus. All your bases of the long tour has 50 seconds left. I don't think there'll be any real estate left after this. There's not going to be any.
No, this is pretty bad.
Stampede. Oh man, don't trade bases with Terrorblade. There we go. Slows on everyone. There's Eevee getting caught out once again, getting forced down to safety. There's your Rex number 2. Terrorblade showing true balance in this game, and Marcus Wolf on the top lane. Oh, good earth keeps everyone out for a while. There's the E-Blade as well. Catches the Terrorblade Invoker. Takes him out though. And now CDEC. CDEC Sanko, it's your chance. Forehead, get it. BKB and destroy the rack. Get Mega Creeps. Spoil team, Mega Cubes. Go. And there we go. Game over. Speed Gaming. What looked to be something they had in the bag turns out the other way. And I don't know what happened. I don't know what just happened, but they threw. And they threw pretty hard.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for them to come back, but they do have an Ember Spirit, you know, one of the best heroes for dealing with Mega Creep, so I don't know, they can still give it a shot, and the Ember Spirit goes straight into the mid lane. He's ready with the counter push, and there's a Brewmaster with him as well. So they're going to give it their best shot here by the looks of it, but there's a T-Blade with boost of travel, Metamorphosis back up, so he could just go straight into the base and go on to the tier 4s.
Yeah, well, what a game. You know, get advantage all game, lose one fight, lose base. All right, here we go. Mega Creep turnaround. Not over yet. It's not over yet. Here we go. Last fight without the Centaur and Invoker. We might actually see Speed win this. I called it too early, man. It might not be over yet. They're going straight for base. Rubik's gonna fall. What's happening this game? I say I cast all the throw games, and this is included as well. They're going for the throne. They lose. They win. They win with Mega Creeps. Thank you.
Oh my god. Well,
oh boy, here comes the rares.
Wow. Wow. Oh, that guy who put 4 Arcanas on Speed Gaming, he's going to be happy tonight.
Oh, man.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, man. What is this game? What a great game for you to join me.